The following is a production of CPRundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Cedar Fair Entertainment Company, the amusement industry, and the business of fun. Here are your hosts, Carsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Huth.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast where we cover Cedar Fair, Cedar Point, and everything to do with fun. Welcome, gentlemen. It has been far too long since we've sat down and done this.
Yeah,
what, a week and a half now?
Yeah, a week and a half. And
we're actually doing it at a normal time now?
Yeah,
a normal time, and it's been like at least a month since we've gone live on Facebook.
Yeah. So what's up?
Because we haven't gone live since before your Poland
I
trip.
went to Poland.
Yeah.
We've just been all over, everywhere, and
very
now
busy.
We're finally sitting in our permanent chairs.
Yeah, I finally got the podcast suite set up.
It looks very nice.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm in my, how many episodes are we at? 8. I think I'm in my 8th different podcast location.
Maybe next week we can get you a different location than that.
Yeah.
I'll try the couch next week.
This is my third, because I had Bowling Green was where we started, and then Tiffin, and obviously now Orlando.
And I've just been one and done. And
you've been in the Bay. You've been in the Sandusky Bay every week.
Yeah, right. I really like the palm trees from your window, Kyle. That's a nice little.
Yeah. It's getting dark now. If we in 20 minutes, I'll be able to watch Epcot fireworks just by looking to my right. So that's pretty cool.
So if you step away and you're looking out your window, we'll know what's going on.
You'll know what's going on, because I have Epcot at 9, and then Magic Kingdom at 9:20 and at 11, because they run their fireworks show 2 times a night.
They run their fireworks twice?
During the summer, they run their big fireworks show twice.
Oh my God. That's so much money.
It really is.
I love fireworks.
Do people stay for 2 of them?
Oh, yeah. Well, so a lot of the first show performance, whatever you want to call it, is like the little kids who have been there since rope drop, and they're all cranky and tired, and then a lot of people leave after that, and then at 11 it's not as busy, and it's a lot of like adults,
and it's all the adults that were in line for the rides during the first show.
That makes sense. Or the adults who didn't show up until 6. I did that a couple nights ago.
Yeah, just rub it in. I mean, is Epcot the only one you could see from your apartment, though?
So I can see Epcot from my apartment. If I walk outside, I can see Magic Kingdom, but it's just the way that our apartment is positioned. I can't see Magic Kingdom from inside.
But if you lived on the other side, it would. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Or
really cool.
Or if I was in my room and there wasn't an apartment building in front of my window, I could see it there too.
And you also have no off season, so
365-day-a-year parks, baby.
Jesus. Well, when I come down and record from my 9th different spot, I'll have to see that person.
Yeah, you will. Well, this will actually be your room, because this is like the guest room / office.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'll probably be at Epcot though instead of there. To be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. It's been a while since all 3 of us have sat down and recorded an actual episode, and there is a lot to talk about.
A ton?
Yeah.
A lot to talk about. Starting with Top Thrill Dragster.
Oh yeah. I'm blessed to be able to talk about this one right now. But yeah, no, so I've been getting some updates of people saying, hey, the podcast, or hey guys, you guys are doing a podcast, right? I'm like, yeah. They're like, you run a website, right? Yeah. Well, there's some stuff going on around Top Thrill Dragster, and I'm like, really? I'm like, well, send me some pictures, because I got a job, and I don't go to Cedar Point every single day like everybody seems to think that we do.
Yeah, just only 5 days a week.
Yeah, right. And so I'm like, all right. So they sent me these pictures, and I'm like, there's a few markings. So I'm like, all right, well, I went out on Sunday, and I took some pictures, and there was a few little red dots over by Top Thrill Dragster station, right outside the station area. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, then the next day on Monday, someone sent me more pictures. It goes, oh, wow, look, there's more markings over here. And I'm like, whoa, those were not there literally the night before that I was there. And I'm like, interesting. Okay. All right. And then they were also sent me pictures of people on the in the station
And the launch
also,
track too, right?
and the launch track and stuff. And I'm like, oh wow. And then like everything that's going on or whatever around that ride. So I'm like, you know what? All right, fine. So I'm like, all right, yesterday, I'm going out to the park because there is a lot going on and I need to see it for myself. And I want to do a live video and take a ton of pictures and just look around because I'm really good at like finding like the very small. Like I noticed that there was a brand new Dippin' Dots stand over by Pipe Scream. It used to be over by. It looks like it's a brand new one, but that's the one that was sitting over by Steel Vengeance's photo booth.
Okay.
And it said
Yep.
something about chilling fun or something. Well, anyway, they moved it over there. So I noticed the very smallest little things. But anyway, so I'm walking around, and so, oh my word, like there are markings all the way from the midway over by Corkscrew, like over by where Iron Dragon goes by the water, and then you walk all the way back down, and then you see like the station area. There's red markings, there's blue markings, there's some yellow markings, there's also some pink markings with metal pins in the ground.
So we could assume blue is water, but what is everything else?
Blue is water.
I think red is electrical.
Yellow is gas, and red is electrical. And then orange with those metal pins in the ground are like temporary survey marker things. So not exactly
meaning something might be actually put there.
Yeah. So we noticed these right before the construction happened over at the boardwalk area where Wicked Twister was. So it wouldn't surprise me, maybe within the next few weeks, if we get a wall up or something. Maybe I don't know, unless it's interesting that they're doing all these markings now and there's nothing. Like it would be interesting that they would do these now, and then it would be like they would wait until the off season to do something.
Yeah. If they're putting up markings now, they're going to do something.
Yeah. And then
we're going to see some sort of movement, as we did in the infield.
Those orange like markings with the pins. There's a few of them in the ride area, like over by where the launch track is, and like there's like that random like blacktop road next to the launch track. There's some pins in that, and then there's also some of those pin markings in the station area. I was able to find some of those, and I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. So, and then
what about
the station and the engine house, and then also in the back of the tower, and they go all the way over to where Backbeat Barbecue is, and then it goes to where the boat ride is. Like right around in that area, there's a bunch of pins and markings and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you're at Cedar Point, go check them out.
Now, I don't know. That's very far away from the line, and why would they potentially be digging down by the tower?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. There's been rumors where, obviously, the rumor is they're going to remove it. I don't know if they would be doing all of this.
I mean, I'm in camp they're keeping it, but
I'm in the
they're going to be digging.
They're going to keep it as well.
I could see the stuff down at the tower being like maybe fencing. Like you got to dig down to bury fence posts or something, or some kind of barrier to separate. And this is all dependent on if they keep the line where it is. Right. They don't reroute the queue at all.
But, I mean, my prediction, and I'll just throw, and you guys, why don't we just all throw our predictions out? I know nothing, and I, whatever. So, anyway, my prediction is I think that the queue is going to move outside of where it was. It's going to be on the midway somewhere, kind of like tucked in around in that area, and maybe goes down a little bit by Corkscrew or something, and then it kind of wraps around, and where you exit, the back train or whatever over there. That'll be your new entrance to get on the train, and maybe they're going to do something like that and reconfigure, and do something like that. That's my prediction. But maybe they're going to build a building. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I was pretty much since the incident happened, I was in I was thinking that if they kept it, which was definitely more up in the air back when this happened, basically a year ago.
Yeah.
I was definitely thinking like, if they keep it, they're gonna just put like a partially themed air conditioned building over the current queue and call it the day. But I don't know. Seeing what we're seeing now, if they keep it, I could see the queue maybe being like one long, like kind of snake around the tower, maybe, or that's also covered better. Or,
I don't think you're going to
know.
put queue at the tower, because if someone drops a phone or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could just Six Flags it and have Zumajaro underneath it.
I'd be for that. Zumanjaro's awesome.
That is a very fun.
But I mean, you got people sitting on a ride underneath that tower, so I mean, it can be done.
Yeah.
You need a real cover.
There's a lot of metal and a lot of coverings and a lot of movements when I rode that last weekend. There's a lot of things that like cover everything over.
Yeah, I remember that from when I rode it 3 years ago. Also, you've
go ahead,
Kurt. Okay, you've mentioned. Well, you saw it, and then I saw it on Rougarou, that they had got rid of all the bushes underneath the ramps.
Yeah, so
that led right into the station.
Of the bushes that were all along, like by the station, right before you got in the station, there used to be all those evergreen tree bushes, thingies, whatever.
Which I think is weird that they would just rip those out
if
they're not going to start doing.
There's also some bushes missing. If you go over by where the ride entrance is, if you look through the fence, there used to be like where the queue is. There also was like some bushings over there. Part of those are gone. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know
why they would rip those out now.
Here's a crazy idea.
On doing something.
I thought of this. I told this to Justin the other day. I'm like, how cool would it be if they keep it exactly the same, they keep the whole ride the same, but they just add tunnels. You launch inside a tunnel, and then like it could be like AC, or it could be themed in the tunnel or something. And you go flying out of the tunnel and then go up, obviously, and then come back down, and then you go down into a tunnel.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool.
Of course,
then if it's cool, but yeah.
Then if it chucks another part, it will just hit somebody on the train.
Yeah, right.
Just ricochet hit somebody on the train.
Hopefully, I'm sure that those days are definitely
done. That ain't happening again.
This is
also the tower lights have been on. That's another thing we should mention.
That's another little Easter egg, and then also all the new merchandise. Most of all the new merchandise has Top Thrill Dragster in the skyline. So
we're past that point where we were, seeing merchandise without stuff in it. It's coming back now.
Mm-hmm. Anything new they've come out with, especially since you've left, Kyle, has been it's looked normal. Like Dragster's there.
There's no new merchandise for Top Thrill Dragster
specifically,
but the new merchandise
they're still
has
selling
Dragster
what
in
they
it.
had.
Right.
They're still selling what they had. Like they're still selling the Nano Coaster. They're still selling the patches and pins and Squishmallows, and that's Dragster specific.
And also the new email that we got with the passes today. If you look, it says like you get a fast lane thing or whatever. The fast lane has a little picture of Top Thrill Dragster Station on it. So.
Oh, nice.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That was definitely not by accident.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I guess we're in the dark. Kyle, what do you think? What do you think they're gonna do?
This is gonna sound out there, but bear with me. So,
okay.
Dragster's current queue is very long and skinny.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be as long as it is. When is the last time Dragster has filled its queue?
Probably like on 4th of July or a busy Saturday, but
not
really.
Within the last few years.
Yeah,
I could see them gutting the current queue. Okay, and it's gonna get crazy here. Bear with me. Gut the current queue, demolish the ride photo building.
I thought you were just gonna stop at the ride.
No,
right.
No. Demolish the photo building, build a new photo building where the current queue is now, and then have the old queue snake back in that trail by Iron Dragon.
Ooh.
And then keep Blood on the Bayou over in Forbidden Frontier.
Yep, keep Blood on the Bayou over in Forbidden Frontier, because now they only use that trail as a break area or a cut through to get to certain parts of the park.
Yeah.
And then if you run along the backside of that trail, you could keep the entrance and exit to the station at its current spot. You just have to go under the ride at one point, which if you built a structure or nets or something, the rides always
or
stop.
the cement entrance they already have.
Yeah, or that.
Like something like that.
Yeah, because you could butt that up and then just have that ramp still exist right there, and then exit could be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I like that idea.
That's my idea. No basis. No basis to back that up. No insider information. I just, if they are as concerned with this happening again as they should be, I could see that happening.
Yeah, I like that. I think that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Kind of, back in the woods, and then all of a sudden, big reveal. We come around a corner of the queue, and there's this giant tower. Not that you haven't seen it walking up to the ride, but it's, kind of like King to Cow effect at Six Flags.
Let's say the last thing I'll say about this is it's good to see that they've made a decision whether they're either going to keep it or get rid of it.
Whatever the decision is, it's happening, and we have progress.
We're not in limbo anymore.
They've spent money on, survey crews and, what's going to happen. So, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing is something that broke this morning when that was the announcement of the new Prestige passes, which I don't think anybody saw coming. I don't think there were any rumors. And It's been a couple of years since we've gotten a new pass with the Gold Pass. I mean, that was in 2019.
And we remember how much people loved those.
Well, see, I don't think these will have that effect because they're
a
lot more expensive. Triple the amount for the base pass.
You're like the what is it? You'll be in the 1% group if you have a Prestige pass.
the elitist.
You're prestiged.
Right, for sure.
Before we get into it, I don't like the wording. I feel like that's people that buy it are already going to feel entitled, and then this is just going to make it worse. But anyways.
Or you could be like Justin that said he's just going to buy it because it's got preferred parking, and then he's going to do like a Snapchat or a TikTok story and be like, "Hey guys, check out my preferred parking," and go about that. So
yeah, that sounds like it. Sorry, Justin. You're still the best announcer we've ever had.
Come on, man! Don't rag on him. We love Justin around these parts.
You sure do.
Yeah. So first off, it should be mentioned that these are not replacing the Gold and the Platinum Pass.
No, the Gold and the Platinum Pass will still be there.
They will still be there. If I had $1 for every time I saw people either concerned or literally just think that these are the new Gold and Platinum Passes today, I would be rich. I would be able to buy one of these, actually. So they are not replacing them. You have the Prestige Pass and the Prestige Plus Pass, and they are upgrades, I guess would be the right word, right? Over the Gold and Platinum Pass.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a Platinum Pass or a Gold Pass, it takes all of the perks and benefits that you already get and just adds to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're kind of like looking at it like, okay, what's the lowest pass and what's the greatest pass? It goes from Gold Pass to Prestige. Prestige is like the middle, and then Platinum, and then Prestige Plus. That's kind of the chain of command here. So the benefits, they're not like super crazy. So both the Prestige and the Prestige Plus Pass both get 15% off food and merchandise, which is 5% more than you already get. So if you're somebody who buys a lot of merchandise, and I think I've mentioned them a few times, we know of a couple people that spend a couple grand every year.
Yep.
It might be worth it for you. They're saying there's going to be enhanced pass perks, even though I haven't really seen much of the pass perks yet this year, although it seems like they've been talking about it a lot.
I used one before I moved, and it was the the bring a friend, because you had gotten the email, or I got the email. And like they were checking it too. They scanned my pass and they're like, "Oh, this isn't the email that your pass perks is on. Do you have that email?" It's like they were checking too. So I mean, they are using it.
Well, so that there's a cautionary tale to make sure you know which pass or which email you're using.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're saying they're going to enhance the pass perks, rewards, whatever that might mean. I'm not sure what even all the pass perks are currently. You are going to automatically get preferred parking, which I think might be very enticing for some people, like Justin, who pays for it every time he's there. I mean, this will pay for itself then.
Or parking lots like Kings Island, where that damn thing is
where the preferred parking
big.
is perfect.
Yeah.
Um, and then, so this is kind of funky wording, but the way I'm reading it is preferred entrance for 2 hours daily. I think some people think this meant that you get 2 hours of early ride time.
I don't think that's true.
That's not how I'm reading it. I'm reading it as you're going to have a specific entrance lane to beat the crowd.
So down here at the Florida parks, that is very popular. All of the parks have a pass holder entrance.
I think Six Flags parks do.
Yeah, I think that's what this is, and I don't think it's 2 hours of ride time. If it is, that's fantastic, but I don't think it is.
If it's 2 hours, that's great.
If they're getting these rides open at 8 a.m., like that's pretty impressive.
By the way, just going back real quick with those pass perks, who's to say that Cedar Point doesn't bring back, ride nights and say, hey, if you're a prestigious, pass holder, hey.
Yeah, I was when we were talking about this amongst ourselves earlier, I was saying that if they were to bring back ERT nights with these,
right,
I would pay the $400 immediately.
They might,
like, that would get enough.
They could put that as one of the perks. I mean, it's
they
not
could
listed, but you never know.
But that would be also super confusing. Like, did I get an email for the ERT night? Stuff like. But I don't know. Maybe they'll refine the pass perks program.
Yeah, they could totally do that.
Moving on, and I'm skipping some stuff that isn't like super crazy.
I think the big thing for me, and because my brother and my mom don't have passes, but you could two free bring a friend tickets.
That's what I was going to say next. 2 free bring a friend tickets annually, which I think I would make use of that too.
I know I would.
Probably one for my dad and one for my girlfriend's brother every year. So I mean that's cool.
That's nice, especially it's guaranteed, it's annually, so every 6
yeah.
months. And then I don't know if you read a little bit about the Q&A on the page, but it talks about that you can use your admission ticket to like Cedar Point Shores. That counts as like one visit, and then you can do Cedar Point as another visit.
Oh, okay. So if you want to bring one person to the park and then the water park on the same day, you could do that.
Right.
I mean, you'd use both of your tickets, but that's cool.
Right. But
okay.
That's kind of cool. Where I was like, okay, well, that you don't have to use them all at one time, or use one and save one for another day, and so yeah.
And then another one is one single-use fast lane per visit, which I think on the surface kind of seems whoop-de-doo. But actually my mom had a really good point about it. And it definitely, I'm not saying this is going to get me to buy it, but she's like, okay, so it's about $150 more for the Prestige Plus pass over the Platinum Pass, right? That's basically the cost of one single day fast lane.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody who might go to the park and buy fast lane once a year, you take one day and really spoil yourself. Maybe this is worth it just to say, you know what, we're going to get the Prestige Pass and just get that one ride 50 times a year if we go 50 times.
Right.
So if you go a ton, maybe that makes sense for you.
I mean, I don't know how many of these they're planning on selling, but if they oversell the hell out of these, that's really
going to be a problem.
It's going to be a problem because everybody's going to use it on Millennium, Steel Vengeance, Dragster if it reopens, Maverick.
Well, they might have it. It's specific though. It might just be like, it just says fast lane. It doesn't say fast lane.
It doesn't say fast lane plus.
Yeah, you're right.
Plus.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's true.
I guess I didn't catch that.
And then I would say the only other big thing is access to VIP areas in the parks that have them.
I think that's huge. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. If it's hot in the park and you just want to charge your phone, you charge your phone.
You're definitely going to see a lot more usage out of those areas now.
And you could, if there's a ball game on, I know at Cedar Point, you were able to watch, the ball games and stuff, and you can get drinks and snacks and stuff. I think that's great. And then also I think it's really cool is they're going to add a VIP area in the water park. That'll be
kind
of cool. Go hang out in the water park and have your own little VIP kind of thing area ish.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So that's the majority of the big ones, and then obviously you get all your normal gold and platinum perks that you're used to. And then pricing, I forgot to mention that. I probably should have mentioned that at the top. So the Prestige one, which is we'll say the Gold Pass version is $25 a month after a initial payment of $49 or just $300.
Yeah, you could just buy it outright.
Yeah. And then the Prestige Plus Pass, which is your better Platinum Pass, is $34 a month with an initial payment of $59, or you can buy it outright for $400.
I was doing the math with that, and I sent you that screenshot to where, if you got the meal plan for next year, like some of the parks have already announced, the Cedar Fair parks have announced their pass structures and whatever. But like you buy the meal plan, you buy the drink plan, and then I was just doing the Prestigious Plus Pass compared to the Platinum Pass that has all of those added on. And after, like, obviously the down payment is a little bit, I think it's $137 or so, to where the down payment I think was like $100 with the Platinum. Well, anyway, it breaks down to about $9 extra a month, because it's $40 with all of that stuff included. That I said the meal plan and the drink pass. I didn't include the photo or any of the fast lane.
You included the important ones that most people get.
Right. So it's only a $9 difference, and I think it's an extra month. I think it ends in May, or no, it ends in June, and then the other one ends in July or so.
The payment plan.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, it stretches it out. An extra $9. I mean, I think I was talking to Kyle before we recorded. I think I'm gonna get it. I think I'm excited about this new pass, and I'm excited to see what kind of perks they're gonna get. And then you forgot to say different parks. So it's only offered at Cedar Point,
right,
Kings Island, and Carowinds. Cedar Points is for the Prestigious Plus Pass. I'm just gonna say those. That one's $35 a month. Kings Islands is $31 a month, and Carowinds is $25 a month
for Prestige Plus.
Yes, but it does say that in the Q&A, it does say that if you buy your pass at a Carowinds park, you will be getting Carowinds benefits. So you will be getting whatever so all the benefits that you're going to get and whatever is for Carowinds. So go to your home park kind of thing.
That's kind of like when Six Flags used to do the memberships, and you had
to renew it at your home park.
Yep.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, my home park is Six Flags Great America in Chicago.
So is mine, but I've never been there. Thanks, Dean.
Jeez. Another topic for another day.
Yeah. Okay, so Carsten, you said you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Kyle, obviously you're not.
No.
I guess where I'm at on this is I'm going to get the Platinum Pass to start. And if I see, and assuming you're allowed to do this, but if I see that this is just super crazy cool and good, the pass perks are amazing, the fast lane is working out really well, then I'll consider upgrading it, by the end of May or something for the extra $150. But I'm not buying it from the beginning.
I was going to say, I wonder if they're also, since they're giving away fast lane every single day and stuff, I wonder if they're going to be careful in limiting how many passes they actually sell. And I wonder if they'll cut that off.
Well, I don't think it's so much fast lane you have to worry about, because they've proven time and time again.
I think they sell way too many of those.
I think preferred parking.
Preferred parking?
Because they don't care about overselling fast lane. They do it every day. But you can't promise somebody to park in preferred.
They've been better this year. We need to give the park.
Can I tell you that on Tuesday that the Maverick fast lane line was an hour?
Well, not every day is perfect, but I'm just saying that every day that I've been there, I've seen they've been better.
Yeah. It hasn't been as bad, but it's also not Kings Island level. I pay $90 for fast lane and I walk on everything on Saturday.
Well, that's also because you've got teenagers that go to Kings Island for the most part, and they're not with mommy and daddy, and they're just
where Cedar Point's a resort and everybody's with the family. Yeah, that's true. It's a good point.
Yeah, because back when Jason was Jason McClure was VP, he said that Cedar Point is their number one seller of Fastlane and Fastlane Plus. So.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
I mean,
it does. I mean,
they also have the most coasters.
You're coming from California, or you're staying at the resorts and stuff, and you just want to get. And I mean, Cedar Point's got a lot of good coasters, and you want to hit all those coasters. So I mean, if I'm coming from California and I only got like a 1 day or a day and a half,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I gotta go. I gotta get that pass. I get that fast lane.
And let's be honest, even if every single park, every single day didn't limit their fast lane sales and everybody sold it for $100, Cedar Point would still blow away everybody else in sales.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
if you even the playing field, still Cedar Point's going to get probably double the sales of every other park.
Well, it sounds like all the parks are getting pretty good sales as is, because we have news from the Q2 earnings call.
Yeah, just a little bit of news from that. So they've currently, for 2022, they've actually sold 3.2 million passes.
That's
Cedar
crazy.
Fair wide.
It is insane to think about.
So yeah, I mean, if everybody just bought $100 pass, divide that, it's like 320.
Multiply that.
Or sorry, multiply it.
Don't divide it.
Yeah, don't divide
Give
it.
you a very, very tiny number compared to what it should be.
But yeah, I mean, that's $320 million just in season passes alone. And they were on the conference call, they were talking a little bit about how that's their most expensive ticket. Like, everybody likes to upgrade to their most expensive ticket, which is their season passes. So, I mean, and also they're having a really good, a little bit of the attendance is down right now. They said that it's possible that it could, it's possible that it can go back up, kind of thing.
Haunt will solve that.
I mean, Haunt does crazy numbers. And speaking of crazy numbers, like the in-park capital spending, they hit a record. Like, everybody that's pretty much walking in the gates are spending $59.52
Per person.
per person.
And that's when you have 3.2 million season pass holders anyways.
Yeah.
So even season pass holders, I mean, like us three, are going there and spending money.
Yeah,
even
and
if it's only $10.
It used to be the
$15.
stigma that once pass holders got in the gate, they didn't actually spend any money. But I guess we're seeing that is not the
I
case
think
anymore.
us three and our friends combined have completely broken that stigma on our own.
Right. And seeing that, like, you're like, okay, wow, what does that kind of, what does that kind of mean? Like, I'm like, well, that's a 6% increase between now and 2021. So last year, I'm like, okay, well, 6% is not bad. But that was kind of like a pandemic year, but everyone's like trying to get back out to the parks.
Yeah.
But comparable to 2019,
Pre-pandemic.
2019, that's up 26%.
Ooh,
That's
Yeah.
a
that is
crazy
great
number.
news.
And then out of park revenue is at a record level of $60 million.
What do we call out of park revenue?
That's like hotels.
I also think that's like online purchases before you get to the park. So like if you pre-buy your tickets or you pre-buy Fastlane.
Okay, or online marketplace, like
Yeah.
if I buy my Nano
Yeah.
Coaster online. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
so, and that's, like I said, that's another, like in 2021, it's like a $19 million increase from that year. And then in 2019, that's a $10 million dollar increase. That's, or 21%.
Jeez.
So yeah, the attendance is down, but they're very excited, and they said that it's in line with everything that they're like projecting, and
and we can see that with all the teasers and stuff coming out online for different parks, that they have no problems building new rides currently,
No.
even though their attendance is down.
Yeah, no, for sure. And they've had a fewer operating days is what they were saying. But yeah, they're definitely excited.
This is probably the way they prefer it, where you have less people coming in, but they're spending more money versus
Because
just
they have those people are having a better time.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That was the Six Flags idea this year with their new GM, was we're going to make sure there's less people in the park, but they're spending a little bit more, but having an exponentially better time.
Yeah. But jumping around on it, so they did say at the very end of that conference call, they did say that next Thursday,
The
this was
11th.
on Tuesday, so this coming Thursday,
A week from today.
not now, but the week from today, the 11th, we're supposed to hear new 2023 announcements. We're supposed to have ride announcements, attractions announcements,
Food
for
announcements.
all of Cedar Fair park wide. Hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed, whatever. hopefully Cedar Point is in that mix as well, since it's a Cedar Fair park.
I would think so.
And maybe we'll find out about what's going on the beach, and then we'll
Hopefully.
also go find out about maybe Dragster.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I doubt
next
we're gonna
week's
hear
show-
about. I doubt we're gonna hear about Dragster next week.
No, I don't think so.
You don't
I
think? See, I think that they're going. I think that they're this in my head. I think they're going to release all of whatever's going to happen, and they're going to show everything off. And they, oh, by the way, Top Thrill Dragster is returning in 2023, and then they're going to just.
I mean, that would be great. I'm
I don't know.
hoping it doesn't happen, but I just don't think it will. I think that'll be a separate like press release, and they're just going to kind of quietly be like, "Hey, Dragster's reopening, guys, and here's what we did."
I think that's going to be a winter chill out announcement.
Oh, you think they're going to wait that long?
I think they're going to wait that long.
I mean,
You mean day before winter chill out?
You know what though? Remember when Top Thrill Dragster was first going to be announced? I think July and August when it was first being built, and then there was so much like.
Yeah, but this is a different.
So much posting and
Because
so
this
much
is a
coverage.
bad thing.
We
This
had
is
to
a
wait
bad
until January to figure that out. January 9th
Yeah.
was January 9th to be like, oh hey, by the way, we're building this coaster. We're like, ah.
Yeah, but this Dragster announcement's a bad thing. Like, it's
a
not
thing.
a good.
It's a good thing if it's coming back. It's a bad
Yeah, but
thing.
they still don't want to have to make this announcement.
I get
and
what he
explain.
means. I get what he means. It's not an announcement that makes you feel good because it's as a result of what happened last season.
And it's going to be like, Dragster's reopening, and here's what we're doing to cover our butts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's not the same energy. It's not the same vibe.
Well, no, I don't think it's that. But I'm just saying, like, if they made us wait, once for it, then maybe they wouldn't make us wait.
No,
for it. But that would be oh my goodness.
Anyways,
So it seems like this, if announcement day is next week and we do hear about what's going on at the beach, this is the last week we can speculate and, do that whole little progress talk that we've done every week.
I know, right? And then maybe, hopefully on Thursday, we'll, it'll be
next week's show is going to be fantastic.
It's going to be fire. So if
Carsten,
anybody wants to listen,
you've been living on Giant Wheel, it seems.
I know.
So,
I think I've got like 12 laps on Giant Wheel since they decided to let photography be happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've ridden it like probably a third of those times with you, and that's
Yeah.
more times. I've ridden it more times this year than I have the rest of my life.
Yeah. No, I mean, what's going on there? Pretty much same old, same old. I mean, steel's still going up. They still got.
It's definitely a building. It's definitely
It's building of some sort. We don't know.
Yeah,
what
it's
it
not
is.
a ride station.
Maybe it is.
If that's a ride station, then call it disaster transport.
Maybe
It's gonna be a station. It's gonna be the restaurant on the first floor, right? It's like you wait in line, you get your chicken tenders and cardboard pizza, right? And then the second floor is where you get on the ride.
Wait. We're on the lake now, so it's going to be chicken tenders, cardboard pizza, and cold perch.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe some
Kidding, their
seagulls
food
that
is
fly
good
into
now.
the building.
No, yeah, no. Cedar Point's food is great.
Sky chicken.
It is.
Yeah.
We spent the first how many episodes praising their food? That's not a stab at the park, just a typical Carney thing.
Poking fun at the Cedar Point of 5 years ago.
Yes. No, yeah, they've definitely done a crazy change. But yeah, so steel's going up. Cinder blocks are still going up and everything, and it's starting to rise. It looks like they've got 2 elevator tower shafts that are kind of built and stuff over there.
Hmm.
But other than that, I mean,
Okay, so I guess let's just straight up just say what we think it's going to wind up being, assuming next week they make the announcement. I mean, obviously we know what the building probably is, joking aside. Like, what else are they doing? Because there's still a lot more room.
I kind of think that it's gonna have some kind of coaster with it. I don't know what kind of coaster, but maybe a small kiddie coaster or something, and then maybe adding a bunch of flat rides.
I
moving
think
Giant Wheel.
I think flat rides for now, and then if there is a coaster, I don't think that's a next year thing, unless it is bringing over like that Wild Mouse for Great America or whatever.
Oh, God. Don't start that again.
No, I don't think that's true. So that's why I'm saying I think next year is going to be restaurants or singular restaurant, hopefully, and flat rides, and then the year after will be the coaster. I think.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking. So first off, seeing that building looks like 2 stories to me. I feel like they're gonna do like a nice like 2nd story patio bar thing, like straight out of like every boardwalk we've Maurice Piers or Santa Cruz, something like that style, or Ocean
Giant
City.
bar with like rooftop access and
Yeah.
big party.
And then
I could see that being a good fit.
Yeah. And then somehow incorporate it into CP nights and let it open after the park closes, maybe something like that.
I think.
And then the other.
Go ahead.
Go.
I'll cut you off.
So then the other thing, and this completely came to me in a dream, but it would work, is a spinning coaster, kind of like Kyle, you've been to Santa Cruz, Undertow.
Yep.
And then this was just me thinking after the fact, it'd be a huge swing and a miss if they put a coaster like that in and didn't name it like Water Spout or something. So that's my prediction. And then flat rides too.
Whatever restaurant they put there.
Maybe move something over there even.
Whatever restaurant they put there, I feel like it has to open from the other side and be open later, because once that park closes, there is nothing to do for those guests staying at Hotel Breakers.
Yeah.
Unless CP Nights is going on, then there's CP Nights. But other than that, you could have eaten at TGI Fridays, but it's closed. And we do have this bar, but they close in 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
And people are there. People are staying the night and stuff, and so they want to.
Yeah.
They're on vacation.
I mean, we regularly see hotel.
They want to eat, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Hotel Breakers sells out almost every single weekend
night
of the year in most weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
If you go on there right now and try to get anything, pretty much probably for this whole month, you're not going to be able to. It's so bad.
So quick take with you guys. Giant wheel, does it move or does it stay?
Moves.
I'm going to say not yet.
I think it moves. I think it moves.
I'm going to say it eventually does, but not next year.
I think it moves because I think that whole entire area is just getting beat.
It needs to move because that building will look really stupid with the Ferris wheel in front of it.
Have that awesome looking building. If that's what it looks like, we don't know. But whatever's going around on the internet, if
they do as good of a job as they did on Farmhouse with that building, as far as theming,
you want to see it, and you're not going to see it when the giant wheel is right in front of it.
Or are they trying to push people to go to the beach and look at it from the beach? I don't know.
Yeah,
I just take issue.
We'll find out.
I take issue with this whole damn building being built because we've spent how many years trying to open up. That's the prettiest section of the park. Trying to open that up.
We got rid of disaster transport.
We got rid of disaster transport. We got rid of the All Wheels Extreme. We got rid of
and all that.
Yeah, we got rid of the
motion.
We got rid of the All Wheels Extreme or Oceana Theater. I mean, like we've spent so much time clearing this up.
Glass, you know, maybe at least it's like glass and like kind of see-through-y sort of ish. I don't know. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't get why you. Okay, fine. They're trying to bring back Cedar Point of 1890 or whatever with a restaurant.
Maybe it's just a giant bathhouse. Maybe everybody's wrong. There's no restaurant. It's just a bathhouse.
It's just a giant bathroom.
You know what?
Hey, we've been complaining about it.
Yeah, right. We're getting like the mega like the world's largest bathroom or something.
We've been calling him crazy, but Justin has been predicting that for like what 10 years now.
Yeah, I mean, you throw stuff at the wall and something's gonna stick eventually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
I love it.
That's Cedar Point, but there's been other teasers.
Yeah, so starting the first on the list is Worlds of Fun, a park that Evan, I think me and you have been to. Have you been there, Carson?
I've been there.
I have not.
I've been there briefly. I ran in one morning on the way home from Silver Dollar City and did their coasters. But kick us off because you're the most well versed in this.
Yeah, I spent way too much time at that park, and. I mean, it's an okay park. It's kind of like Dorney level or Valley Fair level.
Which isn't bad, a solid little park.
No, but this makes me super excited because this makes me feel like if they put in a giant coaster at Worlds of Fun, this is some hope for Dorney and hope for Valley Fair. And I would say hope for Great America, but, you know. So over the last, 2 weeks? Worlds of Fun has posted
about 2 weeks.
3 different teasers on their Twitter that I really can't make heads or tails out of. I guess before jumping into those, I will say that the rumor has been for quite some time that they're going to get some sort of wooden coaster, maybe a shuttle coaster like we see down in San Antonio at that ZDT.
Yeah, Switchback.
Funland or whatever.
Ooh.
I've heard talks about GCI's first fully Titan track coaster.
I tell you what, if that gets built, I am buying my plane ticket the day it gets announced.
Yeah. So get ready to get your wallet open on August 11th.
Get that Prestige Pass.
Yeah.
And I put some stock in the Switchback or wooden shuttle coaster because that was rumored for Dorney for the longest time.
Yeah, that's
right
what
before COVID.
That's what I was gonna say. Didn't it get scrapped from Dorney?
So I wonder if they moved it to Worlds of Fun, like we've heard that Orion was moved from another park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great America, I think, right?
Yeah, and knowing what we know now, that makes a lot more sense as to why it didn't actually get built at Great America.
That makes me sad. Anyways, so their thing with this has been like travel, I guess. All three of their
compass and luggage.
I feel like so the first teaser, it was a tweet that said after almost 50 years, we're getting ready for exciting new adventures, and Worlds of Fun turns 50, I think, in 2024, maybe. I don't know.
Well, let me turn to the old
year.
Google.
I don't know. While you're looking that up, and so this one's like it's the picture of their train ride, and there's a suitcase on it, and it has like some of the parks sections.
Next year is 50 years, 1973.
Okay. Well, that breaks the stigma of parks never opening a new coaster on their anniversary year. So the suitcase has like travel stickers from each of their areas, especially pointing out like the Orient Express, which was an old Vortex style coaster there.
Yeah, it was an Aero Looper, a Mega Loop.
A big Aero Looper that was apparently really bad.
Most of them are not great.
So then the next one from August 2nd is the one that's most interesting to me. It says, we know exactly which way we're going, and it shows a compass. That, in a weird way, tells me the shuttle coaster. For some reason, the reference to direction makes me feel like it's going to be a forward-backward ride, even though that's like exactly opposite of what the tweet is saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that.
And it seems like they kind of, on the compass, the picture of this compass, it seems like they really made point of the needle is very like prominent, and it obviously it's going forwards and backwards, north and south, or actually no, it's northwest and southeast. But anyways, and then they posted another one today that doesn't really give any more clues. It's just building new things is always fun. Join us on August 11th to see what else we can do. And it's another picture of that same suitcase and some old construction photos of the park, which somebody pointed out online that, and you guys are looking at the show notes so you could see the picture I have. The top left corner, it looks like Orient Express. It's not. It's Loch Ness Monster. It's a construction photo of Loch Ness Monster.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. It totally is. That's the interlocking loops.
Yep. Which Orient Express had, but if you go, there's an old blog that somebody pulled up that shows, it was from like a Worlds of Fun fan page, but it's this picture of Loch Ness Monster, and the caption says, photo of Loch Ness Monster under construction in 1970, whatever. So, oops. But it is what it is. So yeah, I'm super excited about that because not only is it good for Worlds of Fun, it seems like it's very good news for the entire chain.
Yeah, and they are definitely announcing on August 11th. We don't know if Cedar Point is, but they definitely are.
They've said it numbers of times.
Yeah.
So, very exciting.
Yeah, and keeping in that theme, you've also done some digging over at Carowinds, and you found something pretty interesting today. I know you sent it to us, but go ahead and talk about that.
Well, so first off, if you don't know, they announced that Southern Star, Yo-Yo, and Plants vs. Zombies are closing.
What is Southern Star?
That is if you take Ocean Motion and it does a full loop.
So like Berserker at Dominion?
Yes. Exact same ride, same color, everything. And it sucked. I hated that ride.
It was a fun ride, but the restraint system hurt my chest really bad.
Yeah. Carsten dragged me on it in March and I hated it.
Well, I thought it was going to be fun. I've ridden the one at King's Dominion and it was great.
No, hated it. Then the Yo-Yo is the old Yo-Yo from Jogga Lake, which is basically a single row wave swinger. I believe it is the one from Jogga Lake.
I believe so.
So that's kind of sad. And then the Plants vs.
Plants vs. Zombies.
Although the way that they're taking these rides down, it doesn't seem like they're putting like torches to them. So maybe they sold them, or they're going to sell them, or something. Maybe
they could also be relocated somewhere, either within their park or somewhere else.
Maybe
Gene Staples is going to buy them up. Who knows?
I mean, let's be honest though. Neither of those rides are a big loss.
No.
Or Plants vs. Zombies.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, this is if you take Blue Blasters at I almost said Cedar Point. I wish it was at Cedar Point. Kings Island, and you make it stationary, and everybody just looks at one giant screen. And it's very, very average. It's not that great.
But you get to shoot at the screen, and
Yeah, I mean it's okay. It was
really
cute when it opened.
It was really ambitious when they opened it, but I don't feel like they kept it up very well.
No.
Yeah, exactly that. So, with that, so they announced that just a couple days ago that those rides were closing, and they immediately closed them. Accounts I follow,
they've been taking pieces off of them.
Yeah, accounts I follow on Instagram and Twitter and whatnot, like immediately we're at the park the next day, and that whole area was walled off like overnight, which is crazy to me. And then I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I was scrolling through their website in the rides section, and the link isn't live yet, and I don't even know if it's actually still there. Maybe one of you guys could check. If you go to their rides page, if you scroll down, there's new in 2023 Aeronautica Landing, which is a really mouthful name, but okay. And it had been rumored for a long time that they were going to build an area with a bunch of flat rides themed to flight, basically. And they were going to get a super good flat ride package from Zamperla or something. And that would take that whole, I think it's called Carolina Crossroads section, and tie that in with Afterburn right there, which is also themed to flight, obviously. You can't click on it. It's not a live link to anything. It's just kind of a picture on their website of the entrance plaza to that area.
Can't find it anywhere. I don't think it's
so
there
they took
anymore.
it. So that was an oops. So that was an oopsie.
Oops.
But yeah, I think, and then I did some digging too, and I want to say it's from parkfans.net. They had, this is back from March, they had found a blueprint that showed the 4 rides that would potentially be built. You guys could zoom in on the
yeah, I'm looking at them.
You could see a disco Cosmic Chaos at Kennywood, or if you took Pipe Scream and had the UFO style seat, you see one of those. And they were supposed to have a Zamperla Air Race, which I can't even explain what type of ride that is. There's Zamperla Nebula Z, which is a very funky flat ride as well, and then a Travant, which is a weird addition.
Is the
and some food, of course.
Is the Air Race they used to have one at Fun Spot years ago?
Yeah, it's that.
Because it was it was at Fun Spot, and then Zamperla.
They moved it to probably another Fun Spot too.
It was really weird because it was here for IAPA, but it was for sale, and then somebody bought it, so then they took it down at the end of IAPA week.
Fun Spot is so weird. Yeah. I don't know. It's a circle. You sit in planes in a circle, and then the ride moves in a circle, and then the planes do full
It's like Skyhawk at Canada's Wonderland.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird ride. I would just tell people to look it up. That's the only way they're gonna understand what it is.
But either way, that was probably
it's a cool
a mistake.
Flat ride package, and much needed because they did not have great flat ride selection. So if this is what it really is, and they've posted posters in the park that also allude to an August 11th announcement.
All right, so we're 2 for 3 for sure at this point.
Yeah.
So
that's what I got.
We at least got a few things to talk about next week for sure.
Yeah. And I think, Kyle, you have a good topic.
Last thing we have on the docket, just because, Carsten, I do want to talk about your trip, but we've been at this for almost an hour now, and
we can
we'll
talk
get
about
it
another time. It's fine.
I don't think you'll forget what El Toro was like.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Or how the Wonder Wheel was, and
Yeah. We'll get to it.
We might be able to squeeze it in. Let's talk about this real quick, and we'll see where we stand. Okay. So Canada's Wonderland the other day, What holiday was it? It was
I
some.
don't know.
It was some Canadian holiday.
A reason for them to shoot off fireworks, evidently.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was some reason for them to. I'm really looking here, but anyway.
Or maybe they do a Kings Island and they shoot off fireworks.
I think it was. I think it was a holiday.
It was some kind of Canadian holiday, and they were shooting off fireworks. Like Kings Island's been doing, and all the Florida parks down here. And it wasn't too long after the fireworks stopped that somebody said, there's a orange glow off in the distance where Splashworks is, because that's the name of their water park. And then it wasn't much longer that, people were going, I think one of the water slides is on fire. So,
and boy, was it.
Yeah, the only way I can think about this here is like a shell or something dropped on one of those fiberglass slides and it was just still hot enough that it just smoldered and caught fire. And
there's some crazy pictures online where you can see there's like an inferno going on.
The one family raft slide is gone.
My initial reaction to this was I watched a video, or I saw a headline that said small fire broke out, and
This was not a small
fire.
Yeah,
I was with Dean, and we turned on the video, and I was like, small fire? That's not a small fire. That's an inferno.
Yeah, it took out a water slide and I think a whole maintenance building or maybe a pump building, which is really, really bad.
Yeah,
because that would probably shut down half the water park.
I've never known fiberglass to be flammable. I know it melts, but not flammable. So do we think the fire started somewhere else?
It probably
maybe, but
somewhere else maybe, because the rain has been really wonky this year, so I don't know if they're if it's been raining up there a whole lot. Maybe that's why.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting.
Well,
it's crazy though. It's crazy to see the water slide's missing half of its slide. So
yeah, there was
and
that.
They were closed.
There was that picture that out of Final Destination, where it was just the water slide just ends and then picks up again. 20 feet later.
It's like Action Park.
There's nothing in the world like Action Park.
Oh, if only.
But yeah, it seems like they have some work to do over at that water park.
They were closed for a day, but they did reopen the next day with half their slides now.
Yeah, I've been there before. It's a super nice park, super nice water park. It could stand to get some renovations, so maybe this will be
this is what they needed.
Yeah, this will be.
Maybe they did it on purpose.
Yeah, maybe this. Will be
some intern was like, "Hey, I have this idea. Let's do it." And they're like, "Let's rip out that purple raft slide." And the park's like, "No, we're not going to do it." And then he's like, "Well, now you're gonna."
Right. Yeah, this was the kick in the butt they needed. But also, just because I want to hear about it, let's talk about Carstens' trip. We got another 10 minutes or so before we start losing interest.
Yeah. So
just because, real quick, just because we do see all of the analytics and the statistics for the show, and people generally start dropping out anywhere from an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. We're right
Thank you that you listen all the way through that.
Yeah, we're right at 57 minutes, so we'll squeeze it in here.
I can be quick. Yeah. So I was gone for almost a week or so. Got to go to the East Coast. Got to visit brand new parks. Got my 300th coaster finally. I'm in the 300 coaster club, so I enjoy
Congratulations, by the way.
And thank you. And Kyle, you're 300, right?
301.
Yeah. See, right there. And Evan, you're probably at 500.
No, I am at 368.
Okay. All right.
So we're on the 300 club.
Yeah, there we go. So we went to the East Coast. Got to go to Knoebels. It's like Kennywood, but with a lot more different old-fashioned flat rides. They had they had an antique car flat ride, but it wasn't an antique car. It was an antique boat. It was a boat. It was a boat with a motor on it, and it literally how they did it and stuff and everything. It was great. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we totally have to ride the boat. So we rode the boat. It was just around the trip, around the park or whatever. It was fun. It was cool. I was like, I totally got to do that. It was the coolest thing ever. So we did that. We rode the coasters.
Phoenix
was amazing.
They lived up to the hype.
It definitely lives up to the hype. The very first time I rode it, I banged my knee really, really good on one of the airtime hills, and don't really remember a whole lot of what happened. So I'm like, all right, well, let's go ride a few rides and then come back. So we rode that, came back, and that was fun. I do have to say that, like, I think their park is just phenomenal. Like,
The best way I could explain it is like what our grandparents probably went to, or
yeah,
as the case may be, our parents went to in like the 40s. Like,
yeah, it's good. So if you love Kennywood or love old fashioned parks, definitely visit Knoebels.
Kennywood, right here.
Right? Like, you gotta, I'm representing, loose articles, but yeah. So
the beast.
there you go. Right? We're all dorks, but it was very fun. It was nothing
Step back in time.
Yeah, it was a step back in time. So then we did that, and then afterwards, the next day we got to do the American Dream Mall. Got to go to Toys R Us. Woohoo! That was awesome. It's a 2-story Toys R Us. Tons of toys.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was really cool. There's a slide that they're building. You can go down a slide. You can go. They have a cafeteria where you can get ice cream, like
in Toys R Us.
in Toys R Us. Yep, and you can
Now,
you can Jeffrey the giraffe.
Where the hell did this Toys R Us come up from? I thought they all closed.
Yeah, so they went bankrupt, and then there was a company that bought Toys R Us, and then that company had a few locations in the mall, but then during the pandemic, it didn't do very well. It wasn't in that mall; it was in 2 different. I think there was a mall in Texas and a mall somewhere else. They didn't do very well, and then they closed them. And then another company just recently bought the Toys R Us name and everything with it, and then they just said they're coming out with all new Toys R Us's in Macy's. They're also coming out with Toys R Us in American Dream Mall, and they're doing all this stuff, and they're possibly going to be doing brick and mortar Toys R Us's. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that it'll come. But yeah, so there's a lot of it was very different. Like, it was a lot of touchy feel. It was almost like a Best Buy for like little kids, if that makes sense. So like, you can go in and play with Legos. You can go in and like kind of experience like the different sands that you can buy, the creative sands and stuff. So it was really cool. Definitely recommend. And then obviously the mall is really cool. They have like a big Ferris wheel. I think it's over 300 feet tall. And you could see all of New York over there.
Wait, 300 feet tall inside of a mall?
So it's on the outside of the mall, like right on the outskirts. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I gotta look this up.
So you can see all of like Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, all the skyscrapers. That was pretty cool. Obviously, you can see how big the mall is. The mall has like big snow, which is like a giant. You can go skiing or snowboarding there. It's also got
it's 300 feet. Sorry.
It's also got a ton of different stores and shops and a lot of like name brand stores. It wasn't just because I went to Mall of America and there was a lot of just not known stores there. This one had like a bunch of known stores, and the stores were really big. Like, I probably went in the biggest Spencer's Gifts and probably the biggest Hot Topic.
But the whole thing about Spencer's was that it was like the size of like a kitchen.
Yeah, it's always tiny, but this one was like extremely, and they've got tons of more space. They've also got a skating rink. They've got a giant amusement park in there that I'm going to talk about now. They've got like they've got 5 coasters there. We were able to ride 3 of them. Sandy's
Lasting Bronco.
Yes, that. I can never say it.
It's a weird name.
That was finally opened. I guess it's been closed for probably.
We'll just say months.
Yeah, a few months. And so I saw that. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to go ride that. So we went to go ride it, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Lauren and I definitely enjoyed it. The launch was just intense. It looks like the magnets looks like they were brand new, so it looks like that's probably what they were waiting on. So yeah, and all the other coasters there, and the park was kind of busy and stuff. If you're in the area, or if you're not in the area, you should probably go visit it, because I heard that they're having some financial difficulties.
Although you would tend to disagree with that at this point.
Paying their loans, but I mean, it was kind of busy when I was there, so I thought it was kind of cool. It was really cool to just ride. There's just I'm not exactly sure how many rides there were, but that was fun. It was cool. And then we got to do those, and then so then after that, so we split the day. So then we left around 4:00, and then we went over to Coney Island, which is with Luna Park, and also
Dino's Wonder
Wheel. And that was kind of confusing to us because we needed to have 2 separate tickets. The Dean's Wonder Wheel has to have a card or something with points on it, and then the Luna you can buy like a wristband. And we were like, well, there's a bunch of rides here. It was like $70 for a wristband. So we're like, oh yeah. So we were luckily we're Ace members, so we looked up the Ace discount thing. We were able to find a wristband for $54. So I'm like, all right, we're saving money.
That's
there.
Still really steep. For that.
for just what we.
Can't you just go and ride a ride for $10 or something?
Yeah, $10 each, and we want to ride 5 rides. It's $50. So
oof.
Yeah, you might as well just buy the wristband.
Yeah,
at that point,
people always say Cedar Point's really expensive. Gate price is $85, but why are you buying
$45 online and you're getting that?
Yeah,
compared to what
and
Coney
then,
Island is.
and yeah, and I mean, no, Cedar Point's definitely aligned with everything that's going on.
Well, okay, so how was Cyclone?
Cyclone was amazing. Definitely not expecting the turns were extremely very turny. If you
They slam you.
Yeah, they slam you.
Are they like Thunderbolt at Kennywood?
Maybe no, I think it's worse. Lauren and I had the great idea of riding by ourselves, just trying it out once. It was bad. We literally went from left to right, and we were just slamming ourselves into each of the.
It's like when you were on the school bus as a kid, and the bus driver took a really hard turn, you just fly into the aisle.
Yeah. But the airtime was really fun. We got to ride in the very front. We got to ride in the very back.
Was it bumpy?
It wasn't a whole that's one of the coasters that was not as bumpy. There, it was actually decently. You could see they spend a lot of money on that, and that's Luna. That's not Dean's. Dean's Wonder Wheel has the Wonder Wheel and a lot of kiddie rides, and maybe a few flat rides, and then they have also got that new coaster that they just opened up.
Phoenix, I think it's called.
I think it's called Phoenix.
Yeah, it is.
Which is funny because you just came from riding Phoenix
I know, right? Yeah, but no, yeah. So that ride, that was cool. It was the
that's a Vekoma.
Yeah, that was the new Vekoma. Yeah, it was fun. We got to because they don't have no one's buying they don't have a wristband there, so no one's buying a whole lot of credits. So there's hardly anybody riding that coaster. So I'm like, oh, that kind of. Hopefully they'll think and be like, you know what? Maybe we should come out with something
like a pay one price
of that line or something.
Especially when you have Luna down the street getting away with it for $70.
And then also, dear God, the Wonder Wheel. I've never ridden anything like that in my life, and we rode the ones that swing back and forth. And Lauren was just having a good old time watching me. I'm okay with giant wheels and Ferris wheels.
I was going to say, you've never ridden one in your life. Will you ride one again?
I would ride it again.
Okay.
But holy crap! You'll see the gondola start to move up above you, and it starts to roll, and then you're like, "Uh-oh,
you're more worried about the other one crashing into you, maybe.
Not really that. I was just worried about us just flying up the end. We're just gonna go too fast, and something was gonna happen. But yeah, so we
only been open since 1920 with no problem.
Right. We get to that spot, and then all of a sudden we just start rolling, and you're like, "Wow, what's happening?" And you start rolling back and forth, and it was fun. It was. I do that. I do the Wonder Wheel.
So they only have 2 of those types of Ferris wheels.
Yeah, they got that one
in the United States.
And at Disney in California.
They have the one at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And
now the one at Disney has to be neutered somehow.
No, if anything, the one at Disney swings more.
Oh God.
Ooh.
Okay. So when me and Dean were out there in January, I took him on it, and I personally almost watched him shit himself. He was that freaked out. I was having the time of my life, but he was so scared.
Yeah, I feel it. After the first time, I'm like, okay, now I'm all right. Now I'm starting to get
the way it works, theirs is called the Pixar Pal Around or something like that. So everyone loads, and then you get a couple speedy laps. We were halfway done with the loading cycle, and he's like, "I'm ready to get off."
Oh my God.
Oh, it doesn't help that you're getting enclosed in a cage. You're like, well, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die in this cage.
So, what about the main event of this trip?
Yeah, Six Flags Great Adventure.
There you
Finally.
go.
Was it as good as I said it was?
Yeah, it was. It was really good. The operations was good. Food was great.
What did you eat?
Park wasn't.
Did you have macho nacho?
No, we ended up going and getting their version of a Panda Express, but it's called
Chopsticks.
Yeah, Chopsticks. That was extremely good. We were able to find a air conditioned kind of place because it was like 95 degrees that day. It was extremely hot, but we got to ride all the rides. We got to ride the Sky Ride, the whole yards. Obviously, we rode King to Ka, and I'm not gonna lie to you, rode up to the start and everything, and it's kind of quiet. So I'm like, keep arms down, head back, and hold on. And I go, and people are like looking at me like, I'm like, what is this guy doing? And then all of a sudden we launch. So like to describe the launch, we literally launch, and it launches slower. I don't know how
its acceleration isn't as good.
I don't know how these people say like, oh, it's just similar to Thrill Dragster. I'm like, it doesn't feel at all similar to me.
It shuffles down the track.
Yeah, it shuffles down the track like it's like it launches and then it starts shimmying down the track.
So rough.
And then
so rough.
It's not rough in the front seat. I do have to say it's not bad in the front seat. So if you wait for the front seat, it's not bad. But so it launches slow, and then in the middle it kind of like picks up, and then at the very end it just kind of like just dies, and you're like, oh, and then it's got a ton of momentum, and you're like, whoa, and you're like over there, you can feel the brakes grab at the top, and then you go back down, and you go over that crazy airtime hill with the brakes, and you're like, oh, are the brakes gonna hit? Are the brakes gonna hit? And you're like halfway down the hill, and you're like, okay, there they are. But that was fun, and then I'm not ashamed to admit it, but when we're at the very top going down, I'm like, I miss you, Dragster, and I had my little moment.
Such a dork.
So
I am a dork.
Remember on last week's episode where you were eagerly awaiting my response of Nighttime Velocicoaster?
Yeah.
I am about the same amount of excited to find out how you liked El Toro because it's in my top 5.
Okay, so I'll talk about El Toro in just a sec. So I was able to ride what's their drop
Zumanjaro.
Zumanjaro. That is on the tower that looks exactly like Thrill Dragster, but they put it on the tower because Six Flags are nuts. Well, anyway,
yeah.
I mean, they obviously figured out it's safe to do so. So anyway, and then I think we kind of figured out that Cedar Point possibly could have done it, but they would probably have to put like a support over by where Magnum is, and then another support for like where the boat ride is. So
well, I also think Ka is wider too. Like it's a wider tower, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
It might be.
Now that you say that, I never thought of that, but now that you said that,
that's interesting. I don't know. Well, anyway,
maybe.
So we got to ride that. We were like 3/4 the way up, and then all of a sudden, like I said, Six Flags is kind of bat crazy. They launch the train, and the tower starts shaking, and it starts wiggling back and forth, and I'm like, holy crap. And then we get up there, and we start bouncing, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And literally, you're like, I don't know, you're obviously far enough away, but it looks like you could almost touch the track on the left
side. That's so cool.
We rode that ride like 4 or 5 times. It was a fun drop. We were dropping forever, and, so.
When I rode Zumanjaro, New Jersey still had a law that they couldn't run simultaneously.
I was just about to ask if they did away with that. I didn't know they did away with it.
They did.
They must
have.
But
like King to Ka would launch, and then Zumanjaro would go, and then King to Ka would launch again. And if you were on Zumanjaro and they were like ready to dispatch, they would be like, oh, we're waiting on King to Ka.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it would launch, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, New Jersey had a law in place where you couldn't run both at the same time. So they would literally have like a radio, and they would just radio to the control panels if we tried, being like, okay, we're ready, go. And
hey, we're slow over here. You guys dispatch.
Yeah,
that's smart. And then so the cream of the crop, El Toro. Oh my gosh,
it's
amazing,
so crazy, Kyle. Isn't it?
Yeah, I wish the park was like. I wish it was like 9, like 10 o'clock closing, because I would have totally rode it at night. Because I'm sure.
Oh, it's so good at night.
Way better at night.
I got Zumanjaro at night.
Ooh, but yeah, so it's pretty intense. Like it's very.
Yeah.
You could feel like when you go down the hill. So I don't know if anybody's ever gotten one of these, but I got a lift stop on it because we were going up slow.
Nope.
And then all of a sudden it like stopped and then kind of rolled back a little bit, and then the anti-rollbacks like kicked in and we were like stopped, and I'm like, oh. And the kids behind us were like freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god, we gotta stop!"
Oh, so they were dorks.
Yeah, they were excited about it. I'm like, "Oh, well, this is a good thing. I guess this doesn't really happen a whole lot." So we got to stay up there for like maybe 30 seconds, and then it started going again.
No, it was just a really good dispatch.
But yeah, so the upstop wheels, I feel like are burning because like all you smell are like the crazy heat from like when you hit those airtime hills, and you're like,
and the noise it makes.
Yeah, the crazy noise. But oh my gosh, no, It's definitely smooth, and then it's rough at the same time. I wish it was just a little bit smoother for being like what it is.
I haven't been on it since 2017, but I thought it was that perfect blend.
Yeah, it shuffles a little.
It was really rough in 2019, but then this year
we
it was
figured
way
out
better.
riding like not on a wheel seat.
The middle seat.
You ride in the middle. It's not
the back car middle seat is
yes
unreal.
It's as
and the front
say,
seat of the whole train is really
as
cool.
your girlfriend likes to say, it's pure bliss. So
yep. I feel like we
yeah.
fit the word bliss in every single podcast since
almost just how Kyle
she's laughing at me right now.
Just the word fun in the description.
Yep,
so.
I already have the name for this week's, I think.
What is
love
it?
Announcement season fun at the Cedar Fair Parks.
Oh, all right.
That's good. That's
like
better than what I was thinking.
I like it. But yeah, so El Toro was amazing. That was really cool.
Give us like 3 words each about Jersey Devil and Nitro.
Oh my God, Jersey Devil, that is insane. I got to ride the very front, the very back.
Awesome.
I got to ride
crazy cool loading system.
Yeah, it's very efficient, very fast, very you know. And then
Nitro.
And then Nitro, we actually got to sit on that and probably ride like 8 times in a row before the park closed. Because there was nobody there, and they just let us keep re-riding. Same thing with I should have said that as well. Same thing with El Toro. There was nobody over there, so I literally got to sit my butt on the ride and ride, I think, 8 times.
I would have a headache after that,
getting
I
off.
think.
But yeah, so then my last park was I got to ride a very old classic. Evan,
Lakemont.
It's Lakemont Park in Pennsylvania. It's not too far away from here, but it's called Leap the Dips. Extremely old.
The oldest.
It is the oldest coaster, yeah.
I rode it when I was 4.
It is it's pretty intense. I was able to record. I asked before I got on the ride, I'm like, hey, am I allowed to record on this ride? They go, oh,
they don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, sweet. So if anybody's friends with me on Facebook, be sure to go check out my video. You can watch it. I almost lose my phone.
So now you're plugging yourself.
You might lose your phone, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. No, I literally almost lost my phone. There's one time where it goes all the way down, but it was pretty cool.
And it's slammed, probably.
But yeah, so obviously I got like 40 new credits or so. And
holy crap.
Yeah. I'm
That's insane.
Level, but it was really
El Toro was 300.
El Toro was my 300th coaster.
What an amazing milestone coaster. Like, honestly, so jealous.
It's good. Because it could have been like Jersey Devil, or it could have been that was Lauren's 300th coaster.
Oh, that's a good one. You want to know what my 300th was? Yes, congratulations to Lauren. You want to know what my 300th was?
Was it a wacky one?
Kyle, it wasn't that bad. I would actually prefer a wacky one over this.
Oh God,
Kyle, it was. You went to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Superman Ultimate Flight.
Gross.
The Tempesto mod.
The Skyrocket 2.
Yeah. I wanted it to be Joker, but it wasn't open, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and wait around all day just to get my 300th credit.
That Joker, Lauren said that's like the bigger version of the Jokers that Six Flags.
This was just side note. Discovery Kingdom's Joker is an RMC.
Oh well, this Joker is like a 4D spin, and let me just say, it is out of control.
It is.
Boy, it is great.
It's a little something.
It sure is great. So. I believe,
right.
But yeah, I think that's all
I'm gonna
for my trip. So it was a fun trip. It was good stuff.
I'm gonna go to bed, and we're gonna wake up in time for announcements on Thursday.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, everybody. I know this was a little bit of a longer episode, but we had a lot to talk about. It felt really good to get back into a routine. Yeah, tune in next week.
Yeah, for sure. We apologize for missing last week, but we figured we would just kind of get a live audience back, and we would kind of start fresh, and we would just kind of cram it all into this Thursday one. And then next Thursday is going to be crazy big because of the new
announcement.
Hopefully Cedar Point, fingers crossed.
Yep. Hopefully. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.